I've been fiddling with my hair for a few minutes now, and we're just gonna roll with it. Okay, so, oh crap, I didn't scroll back up. Excusez-moi. Nope, that's August. Nope, that's July. Okay, I got to June. Okay, so welcome back to the second part of my favorites from 2024. Please don't mind the scratching at the door. My cat is needy as fuck. And he is not happy no matter what I do with the door, so he's just going to have to deal with it. So I'm going to get back into it with my favorites from both July and August, because all three of these are topical because something happened near the end of last year. And the sequel to one of my favorite game series was released on Halloween. I am, of course, talking about Dragon Age: The Veilguard. And July, August, specifically August, was when the release date was announced. And of course, knowing that the game was coming up, I wanted to catch up on the Dragon Age books I did not read yet. I have read the first one, The Stolen Throne, and I have read Asunder, and I have read The Masked Empire. The Masked Empire did not make my favorites list, but these three did. So I'm going to go through each of them individually. If you're not a Dragon Age fan, odds are you're not going to know what the fuck I'm talking about. But let's get through these real quick. I'm going to start with The Calling. This is a direct sequel to the first book, The Stolen Throne, which these two are prequels to Dragon Age Origins, which originally came out in like the mid to early aughts. After 200 years of exile, King Merrick is allowing the Grey Wardens to return to Ferelden. When they come, however, they bring news of one of their own joining forces with the Darkspawn. Merrick agrees to lead them through the passages he traveled many years before, chasing after a deadly secret that threatens both the Wardens and the kingdom above. All three of these books got 5 stars from me. Because of their importance to the Dragon Age lore, which I absolutely love Dragon Age. I could show you my monitor right now, which is mainly screenshots from Dragon Age: The Veilguard. I can do my thoughts on Veilguard in a completely separate video if you all are interested to hear my thoughts. But yeah, no, this is a great sequel leading up to Dragon Age Origins. Yeah. The next one is Last Flight. This one takes place alongside the events of Dragon Age Inquisition, where a young warden recruit, Valia, is tasked with researching the previous blights to gain insight into newly reported and disturbing Darkspawn phenomena. She discovers the journal of Isaiah, sister to the hero of the Fourth Blight, and the dark truth of what happened to the Griffins, the once great symbol and mounts of the Grey Wardens. This book was really great in giving insight to something that we know happened, which was the dying out of the Griffins in Thedas. But this gives a whole lot more context into why and how they ended up going extinct, and ends in a very hopeful way that leads directly into Dragon Age: The Veilguard. So if you're thinking about getting Veilguard, I would pick this up first, either in audiobook form or in physical form, and reading this first, because this has some context that might be really important if you're planning to play Veilguard. The next one was my first 5-star, no, it was 4 stars of August, which is Tevinter Nights. This is a collection of short stories that cover one end of Northern Thedas to the other in the lead up to Dragon Age: The Veilguard. So there's a lot of important information in here, not 100% necessary to play the game. I played through the game. I'm on my second playthrough right now. You are perfectly able to play the game without having read these books. They just give context, and you do get introduced to a few of the characters that you're going to meet in Veilguard in this book. So I would say it's important to read if you're wanting to read If you're needing suggestions on what to read before playing Veilguard, I would definitely pick this one up, as well as Last Flight and the last comic that they released, The Missing, I think it's called, the one with Varric and Harding. Very important to pick up. The next one, my next favorite from August is King of Immortal Tithe. I believe this is the second book in in Ben Alderson's Darkmourn series. This is a queer oh my god, I cannot speak today. Can you tell I got off like a 12? Can you tell I got off work this morning? My cheeks are flushed. I'm tired. We're doing it live. Doing it live and recording. This is a queer retelling of the Hades and Persephone tale. This takes place many years since the vampiric disease began its spread across Darkmourn at the end of the first book, making humans a rarity. The last vestiges of humanity find protection behind their city walls and in the hands of the Fae. Arlo is one such human and will do anything to fend off the sickness that threatens his life, despite the promise he'd made to his parents to protect his sister. When he is unwittingly Sorry about that. When he is unwittingly chosen by the Fae's Prince of Death, he finds himself entangled in the Fae's web of secrecy and family politics. I like this book way better than the first one, and definitely better than the third one. I have not read the fourth one yet, or listened to the fourth one yet, but these books, especially this one, is just a lot of fun. And this one in particular scratched an itch I didn't know I needed scratching. I love Arlo and his desire to both survive and live like there's no tomorrow, and Fëanor and his yearning for physical touch and connection. I felt that in my soul. They are both wonderful characters and they fit very nicely. I'm going to try not to rush things, so if I end up having to stop halfway through this, I'm going to have to stop and record again. So the next audiobook after that one was Your Blood, My Bones, which was my favorite for September. Your Blood, My Bones, Can you tell I'm having issues with my brain? Wyatt Westlock wants nothing more than to burn her family's farmhouse to the ground. During her final walkthrough, however, she discovers Peter, the boy she once considered her best friend, strung up in chains and left for dead in the basement. And Peter, who has died countless times at the hands of her forefathers, wants nothing more than to kill Wyatt and free himself from endless torture. As the spells protecting the farmstead begin to unravel, Wyatt and Peter must work together to survive or tear each other apart. I was not expecting this book to tear my insides apart, but it did. I was in so much emotional pain by the end of this book, but the ending, it tore my heart out and stomped on it, but it put it back in, bruises and all. If you hear my child screaming, I do apologize. I'm going to try and fit this one, and if I can't fit it, I'm just going to stop the recording and continue in the next video. So yeah, the next one in October, I finished Eye of the World, which is actually the first book in the Wheel of Time series, which I've never read before. This is a very well-known fantasy series. It's one of those keystones in the arch of fantasy. You're not a real fantasy reader if you haven't read these certain books, including Wheel of Time. There's a lot going on in the first book, and it's setting up a lot of things, so it's kind of hard to describe. I don't even own them all. I own books 1, 2, 5, and 9, so I'm going to have to buy the other ones. But this book was really good. It kept my attention all the way through, and I'm looking forward to continuing on with the series. I'm going to have to do the rest of October and the rest of 2024 in the next video, so come back for that.